Alright, it's Mega here, and I'm shooting a video that has to deal with the Honda Super Cub and the Sur Ron Light Bee Supermoto, okay? And I say Supermoto because, so we're going to compare the wheels. We're going to do a wheel comparison, or a tire comparison, okay? So one of the things I noticed when I bought this Super Cub is that the tires are very similar to the Supermoto wheels on the Sur Ron Light Bee, okay? So we're just going to go take a look at them real quick, compare the two, and, you know, and you check the different choices, the tires for both of these, okay? So fortunately, the good thing is, since they're selling Super Cubs now in the United States, that we may get more tire choices because of the Super Cub, okay? Because it's really hard to find tires for the Supermoto the Light Bee, okay? Alright, let's check it out. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna do a quick comparison. Alright, I'll tell you now, the front tires are exactly the same on the Super Cub and the Light Bee Supermoto wheels, okay? So this is they're both 17-inch fronts, okay? They look like freaking bicycle tires, but they're not. These are actually a moped tire, okay? The tires, okay, let's go over the tire sizes, and then we'll go over to, you know, the tire itself. All right, so right here, we got a 70, 90, 17, okay? 70, 90, 17 MC motorcycle, okay? So it's actually a motorcycle tire. 38P, okay? Right here, we've got a 70, 90, 17. Alright? Same exact tire. It's an MC, so it is a motorcycle tire, okay? But these are marketed towards like mopeds and stuff. Alright? Okay, so now we're gonna go compare the tires, okay, on these two bikes. So I'll tell you now, these are Michelin Pilot Streets. Okay, I love these tires, but they get flats really easy. And this is an IRC T-Spec, okay, IRC T-Spec NF63. All right, that's what tire these are. These are made in Thailand. Okay. Okay, so as you can see here, they are made in Thailand. Yeah, this is made in Thailand there. Okay. These ones are made, I think, man, these tires are made in different places. This one you can put a rear tire and a front tire, so you could flip these, okay, if you wanted to use this on the rear. All right. These are actually tubeless tires, but you have to use tube tires in these because you got spokes, okay? This is a Michelin, the other one's IRC Pilot Street. Here. Oh, this is made in This one is made in Thailand, okay. So this one is made in Thailand. So, you know, I could trust Thailand tires because I never gotten a flat with these front tires before. Okay, maybe I'm just lucky I haven't, you know. That's what I'm gonna say. All right, but the rear tire on this bike, I get flat tires all the freaking time. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so this is an IRC T-Spec tire. Okay, so you could actually use this tire on here, okay? Now, there also is the stock Supermoto tires, the CST tires. I highly don't recommend them. I not even want to talk about those. Okay, so yeah, we could swap these tires. So I think when the IRC tires are up on this bike, I'm gonna swap it to a Michelin Pilot Street tires and try them out. But thus far, the IRC tires are all right. You know, I don't really push them all that hard because this bike isn't really fast. Okay, so we're gonna go take a look at the rear tires. Okay, we're gonna look at the one on the Honda. So this is a IRC NR94. Okay, it's a little bit different. I think it's still the T-Spec tire, but anyway, here's the wheel size. It's a 80, 90, 17. Okay, 80, 90, 17 reinforced sidewalls. Okay, is directional too. This one doesn't have a, this one doesn't say T-spec on it. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so this is a Michelin Pilot Street also, okay? And it's a 90/80/17, okay? So 90/80/17 versus 80/90/17, okay? So these tires are actually thinner, okay? They're not as wide, but they are taller, okay? Actually, they're actually the same, okay? They're the same. They are the same. They're the same tire, but this one is just narrower, okay? The dimensions and everything are all the same, okay? Now this one is wider, but it's not as tall, okay? So that they cancel each other out. So if you wanted to install one of these IRC tires, okay? This IRC, what was it again? NR94. Yeah, IRC NR94. If you wanted to install this tire on the Light Bee, you could, okay? So that's a discovery I have made. All right, this freaking helicopter. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you could interchange these tires. However, it would be narrower. Okay, and this tire actually fits pretty good on this bike. Okay, there's no complaints other than like, yeah, I get stuff like this happening on it. You know, there's like, I get stuff like this happening, cutting a tread here. Okay, now I think these are made in Serbia. Okay, that's one reason I think these are not good tires. They're not made in Thailand. They're made in Serbia. Okay, I don't know why these rear tires always come from Serbia. Okay, yeah, so this tire is made in Thailand. I know the freaking camera won't focus, but it says it's made in Thailand. All right, so you could potentially use these on the Light Bee tires, Light Bee wheels, but they will be narrower. Okay, and then and vice versa. You could actually use that wheel on this bike. Okay. I don't think it would interfere with the size. Actually, what we could do is I could measure the height of the tires. Okay. Okay, Ace Mangus again. Well, we do know that these front tires are exactly the same. Okay, they're the exact same size. Okay, but I want to just measure the height and the width of both of these tires, and I'm just gonna do it, and then I'll go tell you what it is. Okay. I don't have a really large caliper to do this with, so I'm just going to use a tape measure. Good old Mr. Tape Measure here. Okay, so the Michelin Pilot Street tire, I'm going to go all the way from the ground to the top here, is like 22 inches, okay? And unfortunately this one is not on the ground, so I have to look right here, okay? Move up here. Let's go over that. Yeah, somewhere on the curve around here. Okay, and this one is like 22 and a half inches. So it's actually taller. So yeah, this is a little taller. It's a 90. It's a 90 series. All right. This one is an 80 series. So yeah, I guess they don't cancel each other out all that much. All right. So I'm gonna say, so if you put this tire on this bike here, okay, the 90/80/17, you're going to have a shorter tire. Your speedometer is going to be going faster. Okay. Also, it'll be wider. Okay. I don't think this will have any problem with having a wider tire. I don't think it'll rub on anything. Yeah, it doesn't look like. It may rub on the center stand. Or it may rub on the swing arm. I'm not 100% on that. I would have to measure that. Okay, but also the width. Let's check the width out. Okay, I've got 3 3/3 inches. All right. Yeah, this one I can't. There's too much bike in the way, man. Yes. This one is like 3.5 inches, okay? So this is 3 3/4 inches, and this one is like 3.5 inches. So you're gonna gain an extra like quarter if you put this one on here, okay? This tire is wider, but not as tall, and then this tire is narrower, but it's taller, okay? Would that fit on this? Yes, it would. Would this fit on that? I'm not 100%. But so that just opens up an extra tire choice for the Sur Ron, okay? Is what I'm gonna say, and the Honda. I think I'm not sure, but I think you can get the Pilot Sport in 80, 90, 17. I think these are a more common tire than the ones on the Super Cub. So if you wanted to go with the, a slightly taller tire but narrower, you can go with that. But this is an 80, 90, and the front is a 70, 90. So it would still be okay. The front would still be narrower than the rear. It's just slightly narrower. Okay, and that's what you want. You want a little narrower than it is in the rear. Okay. So it helps the bike turn, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna go measure how wide the swing arm is on this bike to see if you can put the Sur Ron tire if you wanted to, but I would just go with whatever the regular tire was. And man, it's really hard to do it too. Freaking Honda, man. There's like so much stuff on this bike, dude. Oh, yeah, it is the center standing. No, there's some kind of bar here on the side, okay? And you've got a decent amount of space on the left side, okay, but you don't have much space on the right side. So what I'm gonna do, yeah, I'm just gonna measure how far it is from that. There's like a stabilizer bar or something, or it has something to do with the brake. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of weird bar going along the. It's very hard because the freaking exhaust is in the way. Okay, I kind of guessed. I got my units all mixed up, man. Okay, so I checked. I used another caliper to translate what that was. All right, so 1/8 an inch is like about 12.12 inches. Okay, so if I convert that to inches, it's about 3 millimeters. Okay, all right. 1/8 is about 0.12 inches, and that equals about 3 millimeters. Okay, and we had about 20 millimeters on that side of the wheel, okay, so before it hit that bar. So yeah, you could install that tire on this bike too if you wanted to, but I wouldn't. I would just install whatever the stock tire was. Okay, but I think I will be going with the Michelin Pilot Sport tire once these tires are done. All right, they still got plenty of meat on it though, so good luck with that, Hazy man. Okay, so thanks for watching my tire comparison test. Alright, so here's the things that we learned by looking at both of the bikes. The front wheels for the Supermoto, Sur Ron, and the Super Cub are the same size. Okay, so you could actually, I could swap these tires if I wanted to, no problem. Okay, the back tire on the Sur Ron is we found out it's wider, but it's lower profile. Okay, compared to the one on the Super Cub, okay? The Super Cub, compared to the Sur Ron, it's narrower, but it's taller, okay? So, yeah. And I think you could swap them, but I don't know, man. I don't know if you can get that IRC tire for the rear also, so I have to look it up, okay? But I think when these tires are up, I want to put those Michelin Pilot Sports. I also kind of do want to replace the rear tire on this bike. I think these Thailand tires are better than these Serbian tires, okay? Like, this is the first time I got a tire made in Serbia, and I'm not very impressed with it, man. It gets cuts and punctures like really, really easy. So, and this is second tire. This is actually the second tire I've had on this bike. All right, the Light Bee, the rear tire, the one made in Serbia. I've had 2 of them made in Serbia. Okay, so I don't know, man. For whatever reason, they only make that tire size in Serbia, and I've had situations where, like, when I bought car tires, like one tire was made in Mexico and the other tire was made in Japan, and then you could tell the tire made in Mexico was deteriorating more rapidly than the one in Japan. Okay, now they could have been subjected to different stuff, okay, to make that happen, but yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. But like, you know, I've noticed, you know, tires made in certain countries are not as good as tires made in other countries. So now I know Thailand is a good place to buy tires. The Thailand rubber is better than Serbian rubber. That's what I'm thinking, okay? Because I'm not really happy with the rear tires on that bike, okay? But I do punish it a lot, okay? Is what I'm gonna say. Okay, but yeah, if I do buy another Michelin Pilot Sport tire, and I almost did for this next race coming up, I might just change the tire after this race. I'm not sure, but if I was to do that, I would make sure to get a tire that was made in like Thailand, okay? Thailand or Serbia. I think they, you know what, they got small bikes in Asia too, like, so I guess I guess they don't make tires in Japan anymore, man. Can't get the Japanese rubber anymore, man. Yeah, so and also there is a manufacture date too. That's another thing. So I don't check them on these tires, but yeah, it could be like the tires you bought are like really old Hades Omega, but the front tire is always good. That's the same front tire I've had. You know, I've gotten 2 rear tires to this one front tire. This front tire has never gotten a flat too. So it's either it resists flat really better than the rear tire, or I'm just Hades Omega is just lucky. Like the rear tire just picks up nails and stuff really easy compared to the front. Okay, I would hate to get a front flat though. I think a front flat is worse than the rear because you can't like even steer the bike, you know, type of thing. Okay, so yeah, that is my kind of experience with the tires, and then this is the tire comparison video. Okay, so these 2 bikes use very similar tires. Okay, so you could use the front tires, okay, but the rear tires I wouldn't. I would use the proper tire, okay. But yeah, that opens up some other options to get tires. I have never tried another, well, besides the stock CST tires, which I don't recommend at all. I have never tried any other tire on the Light Bee. I do like these Pilot Street tires, but they get flats really easy, okay, and the tread gets cut really easy. Is what I've noticed. So yeah, is what I'm gonna say. But I think it's because it's made in Serbia. That's the thing. I don't want to knock. I don't want to knock Serbian tires or anything, man. But I think that could be the reason, you know. I've had 2 Serbian tires that they get cut and punctures really easy, but all these other Thai tires, they don't get punctures that easy. They don't get punctures at all. So there has to be something. There has to be something for that, you know. Something has to be said about that. All right. all right. Here's Big Out. Thanks for watching.